Okay, I'm going to call the June 24th public hearing on the tentative budget for the road district as amended for fiscal year 2018-2019, and ask the clerk to call the roll.
Trustee Saturn.
Present.
Trustee Narodowski.
Present.
Trustee Graffia. Trustee Keenly.
Present.
And Supervisor Sweeney.
Present. Okay, this is a public hearing regarding the Elk Grove Township Road District tentative budget and appropriation ordinance as amended that this board voted on last month as it relates to the changes that needed to be made due to the loan and capital improvements that the loan that the town fund had given to the road district and the capital improvements that the road district had made. So the board approved that last month. This needs to be finalized. Any public comments? Okay, hearing none. Any board comments? Very good. I will entertain a motion to adjourn the public hearing. Is there
So moved.
moved by trustee
Seconded.
Saturn, seconded by trustee Narodowski. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. This public hearing is adjourned. Okay, I'm going to call the June 24th regular board meeting to order and ask everyone to please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Trustee Saturn.
Present.
Trustee Narodowski.
Present.
Trustee Graffia. Trustee Keenly.
Present.
Supervisor Sweeney.
Present. Public comment?
Hello, I retrieved my property tax bill that's due August 1st, 2019 from the Cook County Treasurer website. And do you update the calendar on your website?
I don't know if it's on there or not, but we will talk to our administrator and our assessor about doing that. It could already be up there, I'm not sure, but we can, if we can just get the information to Paul, we can do that.
It certainly is noted in the latest newsletter.
Perfect. So we can copy that over.
It is online right now, but they will not be dropped into the mail until the 1st.
Okay. We'll gather that information and update anything we can. Thank you. Any other public comment? Okay. Item D, the consent agenda. Are there any items that board members would like to have removed from the consent agenda? No. Okay. Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Saturn,
Second it.
seconded by trustee Nuredowski. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Saturn.
Aye.
Trustee Narodowski.
Aye.
Trustee Keenly.
Aye.
Supervisor Sweeney.
Aye. Okay, motion carries. All right. You've been presented with two sets of minutes, one from the special board meeting of May 14th and the regular board meeting of May 20th. Any questions, concerns, corrections for either of those sets of minutes?
No.
Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to approve either set or both of the sets of minutes together.
I make a motion to approve both sets of minutes together.
Okay, a motion's been made by trustee Saturn to approve both the May 14th and May 20th board meeting minutes. Is there a second?
Second it.
Seconded by trustee Nuredowski. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we have no presentations. Reports, the assessor, Connie.
You've received my written report, and I'm sure that you'll note that the number of people that we serviced in this township is incredible with the staff we have. I will tell you that in further conversations with the Cook County Assessors Association and the total debacle that we had with condominiums in our jurisdiction, that I kept pursuing why in the world they were so wrong. At a meeting with the head of their residential department. They tried to explain to me that what was happening was any condominium with an associated parking space or garage was being double assessed. So this is going to be interesting to see when we finally get the results from CCAO on the appeals that we filed, that problem will be corrected. I know that sounds a little obscure, but when you look at a condominium, you've got the unit with a percentage ownership plus a parking space. What they were doing was taking the assessed value of the condo and putting it also on the parking space. So it remains to be seen if this is going to get corrected. Otherwise, I've been in discussions with Commissioner Patlack that he can be assured that there's going to be a tremendous increase in the number of appeals that they see when we're open at that time. As was mentioned just previously, tax bills are online currently and can be accessed by the taxpayer. You can also pay online, but those, of course, are due and payable on August 1st. We'll be happy to help any person who needs assistance with paying them online. We've added that service to our menu, and it's been particularly helpful for our seniors. So if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Has the county acknowledge that that's a mistake, or?
Yes.
They will make the changes when
They've-
proactively, or
they-
will it only be when you appeal?
It remains to be seen, Clerk Bussey. We informed them immediately within the first day that there were problems with this program. They acknowledged there were programs, and then they did put out a press release acknowledging, which I give them credit for. I can't even assume that that Assessor Kagi's predecessor would have done that, but they took full credit for the error. However, the only thing that concerns me at this point in time, as we continued to give them information about various condo complexes, they actually came out during our outreach program. But because the numbers of people here were so, we were SRO here, and people had to leave because they had no place to park. People were parking in the Guitar Center. They were going to make an announcement at that point, but they saw the mood of the crowd and decided that if they made an announcement that they were wrong in the condo assessments, it would certainly give impetus to the thought that they were wrong in single family. So that announcement was not made. We were then told that with the complexes, if in fact we could come up with a viable sale in that complex, they would reassess. Now, at first they were going to send out individual letters, and I think only a few of those went out. So it remains to be seen with the results of the appeals that we sent in and the information that we sent them that was wrong, just exactly how they're going to address this.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Tell your staff thank you.
I will.
Clerk's report, George.
You have the written report with the recent FOIAs. There's no other issues at this point.
Any questions for George?
No.
Okay. All right, Highway Commissioner, Art.
I'd like to stress that on our recent highway project, every area that's scheduled to be paved is paved. Last Thursday or Friday, since I submitted my report, myself, our village engineer, Mark Toll from Dan Craney, and I shouldn't start over again. But Mark got an independent, another surveyor engineer out, and we walked most of the areas, all the streets on Thursday and Friday. And he's going to give us a independent report on the quality control on the project itself, so we can go from there.
Great.
That's about it.
Okay. Any questions for Art? All right, thanks, Art. All right, can I have a motion to accept the elected officials' reports as presented?
So move.
Moved by trustee Nuredowski,
Second.
seconded by trustee Keenly. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, no correspondence. Old business. First item under old business is the Budget and Appropriation Ordinance 2018-02 RD, amended. Is there a motion to approve that ordinance?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Saturn. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Keenly. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Saturn,
Aye.
trustee Nuredowski,
Aye.
trustee Keenly,
Aye.
Supervisor Sweeney.
Aye. Okay. Item 2, thereafter some discussion and looking with the assessor and looking at the potential layout of workstations in that office. We had I had some good conversations with Connie about where that half wall should end up being situated. And after John Berta had presented several different layouts, what we're looking to do is move that wall further south, so further out into the waiting area, 3 feet. So that will allow for the space that Connie believes will make the workstation she needs accessible to not only the staff but to the clients. So, any questions about that change to the plans?
No.
Okay. Can I have a motion to approve these plan changes for the Assessor's Department?
So move it.
Moved by trustee Nuredowski. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Saturn. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Saturn,
Aye.
trustee Nuredowski,
Aye.
trustee Keenly,
Aye.
Supervisor Sweeney.
Aye. Okay. Item 3, recertification of elected officials regarding participation in IMRF. Since you had the last meeting, I will say I appreciate everyone tabling this last meeting at my request. And actually, it was kind of fortuitous in, as it relates to this issue. After that meeting, it seems, I'm not sure, well, I don't know if it was before or after. I got a report towards the end of May after the meeting. I got notified of this, but I guess they did it on the 17th. I just wasn't made aware until the end of May about this change to the recertification process for non-governing body elected officials, which we have 3. It would be the clerk, the assessor, and the highway commissioner. So what this means, it doesn't appear that the board needs to recertify anything. What's not clear is if anybody has to do anything, and that's what we're trying to get clarification from our attorney on and our communication with IMRF, if any steps need to be taken. The highway commissioner and the assessor are currently 2 elected officials that are in the IMRF. So whether or not anything needs to be done, I just don't know. So if there's no objection, we'll just table this indefinitely until we have more information. We have, if anything needs to be done, I believe we have until September anyway, but we're just not sure with these new recent rule changes if what needs to be done, if anything.
Have they changed the rules for participation?
For elected officials?
You mean the
No, I mean, whether or not,
For non-governing,
It's-
they've made a clarification, and I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't be speaking now.
Or if, or at least go up to the podium.
Okay.
Thank you.
After they made a preliminary resolution, there seemed to be a great deal of misunderstanding and mischief going on as far as the certification. So what the board came up with in May was their resolution 2019-05-09D. And since the highway commissioner and myself are non-governing elected officials, they made that a very clear distinction. And with the non-governing, they're saying he or she has elected to participate in the fund, and that the IMRF authorizing agent has certified in a form satisfactory to the fund that the non-governing body elected position meets the applicable hourly standards. And so basically what they're saying is that if the highway commissioner and I are meeting our 600 hours of work requirement, that we would be certified into the program.
And that's what we're waiting on clarification for. I don't know if the individuals themselves can just make the certification individually. And that's what we need clarification on.
So there's a 600-hour requirement per
Right.
year annually, and the question is who has to certify that 600?
That's correct.
Well, there should be a certifying officer in the jurisdiction. Now, I don't know who that officer is.
So there's a variety of things here. So I'm the authorized agent for IMRF as it sits now as a township supervisor. One of the other things we're looking to clarify is whether a vote of the board has to be taken to identify somebody as the authorized agent either. So we're looking at a variety of things to make sure we get all our ducks in a row so that we're doing everything that we need to do. So there's a variety of things that I want to check on. So that's why I don't want to, this is such a new rule, and it's, like I said, it's not clear, because they mentioned the authorized agent along with the elected official themselves essentially certifying. But, right, I mean, but whether or not there's a separate process for that, what that process is, or whether or not that the fact that the two positions are already in IMRF, whether or not that is satisfactory, I don't know. I just have too many questions we're trying to sort out. So I'll continue to keep you updated. But like I said, if there's no objection, we'll just table this until we have the answers.
Okay.
Right now, there's no board action that has to be taken. I know that for sure.
So IMRF should be able to clearly answer these questions, right?
Yeah, you would think so, but no. Like it doesn't seem that they, right? I mean, it just doesn't seem like they have. Like I said, you know, there's one of our neighbors, neighboring townships, was having issues with this. It seemed to be what drove this whole rule change. There might be, I think there's a couple others too that were having this issue, and maybe more. So, like I said, exactly what that means, right? I mean, if those individuals, one interpretation was that, well, if the board had previously certified and they're already in there, and the elected officials say, well, I'm still working those hours, we've already been through the process, so nothing has to change. The other interpretation is that, no, now the elected official and the agent have to do the recertification every so often. So it's just not clear, and I don't know how it's gonna come down, but that's why we're having our attorney review it and then have discussions with the general counsel at IMRF to ensure that we do everything we need to moving forward. And that includes potentially voting on who the IMRF authorized agent is.
So they would just have to show their hours.
That's
If
right, I
that
mean,
is an issue.
that's a question we have, like, how do we account for those hours, right? Does the elected official attest? Do we have some kind of, for lack of a better word, time card process? I don't know, and that's what we're trying to figure out. You know, how does someone attest to those hours? Excuse me.
They keep a log.
What's that?
Most keep a log.
Right, I mean, well, that's, right, but what does that log mean? Is there a certain process you have to go through for the log? I mean, and that's just what we're trying to figure out. A log might be sufficient, under the IMRF rules, I just don't know, so.
Was there a certifying agent prior to this, or is this certifying
Yeah,
agent
this-
just
the-
created in here?
Just, no, this is not new. The authorized agent, because I have to, I have to sign everything that, any updates, any kind of changes or authorizations from IMRF, Supervisor has done as the Chief Executive Officer. I mean, that's what makes sense. We don't know. That could be that the Supervisor, automatically as the Chief Executive is the authorized agent, or IMRF would require a vote to actually appoint somebody.
But all we know for sure is the board's not involved in this anymore.
With non-governing board elected officials. With governing board elected officials, we very much are. So let's say you wanted this, sometime in the future, the supervisor wanted to be, the board wanted to put the supervisor back into IMRF. The board
So
would
you're
have
not
to
in
vote
our
on this.
IMRF?
I am not, no. So the board would have to vote on that. Same thing with any trustee, the board would have to vote on. So we'll get answers as we have them. Like I said, it could be very straightforward. It may not, so far it hasn't been as clear cut, because Connie and Art are already in the system. We might not have to do anything. Some think that this rule just applies to new additions to IMRF, and we're just trying to get clarification. Okay? All right, without objection, we'll table just indefinitely until we have additional information. All right, there's no new business. I'm sorry. I think you have to vote to table. Do we have,
Vote
they have
to
to take a, yeah, that's fine, okay. Can I have a motion to table item 3 under old business, recertification of elected officials regarding participation on IMRF indefinitely?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Keenly, is there a second?
Second it.
Seconded by trustee Nuredowski. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. No new business matters, nothing. Is there anything that anybody thinks requires any executive session from the agenda? Okay. Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by trustee Saturn. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Nuredowski. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much.